In this video, we're taking a look at a pretty unique new 2.5-inch Cinewhoop from Sub250. I've tested out a few Sub250 drones at this point, and honestly, each one has flown pretty damn good. You should be able to tell by the name, but Sub250 makes drones that are under 250 grams. This drone that we're taking a look at today is their first Cinewhoop, the DollyFly25. So the DollyFly25 is a 4S 2.5-inch Cinewhoop. I was sent this 750 milliamp LiPo battery. This is the main battery that I use during my testing, and this is really the only battery that I would use with this drone because this battery keeps it under 250 grams. So usually when I film my tests of drones like this, I like to fly the drone first, then I'll hop back to my desk and I'll go over all the specs and everything with you guys. Occasionally I'll get a crash in to test durability, and 99% of the time the drone is able to survive the crash. Unfortunately, when I went out to test this drone, that wasn't the case, and it broke. Not only in one spot either. The antenna mount on the back broke. So originally this antenna was on a fixed little piece right here. This is kind of like a hinge that covers up the XT30, and when you get the drone, the antenna is kind of sitting like this in this mount, right like that. And then the antenna folds over the XT30, and then you get the strap over it like that. So now the antenna is kind of flopping around. There's nothing really holding that. So in addition to that, this cover right here completely shattered. So up front, this is where the GoPro mount was. And then the other part that broke, same material, the O3 air unit and the camera. This is a pretty cool design, but it just obviously isn't durable enough. But the O3 air unit right here and then the camera are kind of on their own separate dampened piece. So you can see these two dampeners right here. There's one right there, one right there. The camera and the O3 air unit are kind of attached to that, and hopefully you guys can see that right in the middle. That just kind of snapped. So that piece broke, this top piece broke, and then the antenna piece broke. So I'm not sure what this material is. I don't know if it's 3D printed or if it's just really, really thin, fragile plastic. All of those pieces broke in that crash. So even though it broke in those spots, I honestly love how this thing flies. This is a really fun and smooth tune on this drone. I'm probably gonna just super glue this thing to the piece of plastic and then put a piece of tape or something over this and just continue to fly it. Unfortunately, I can't really mount a GoPro up here. So initially, when I took this drone out of the box, I honestly spent a good couple of minutes just kind of looking at the thing because it is a very uniquely designed Cinewhoop. We've got the O3 air unit right up front on its side, right behind the O3 camera. Both are on their own separated dampened platform. You can kind of see these two dampeners right here, and then you have two more in the back that are mainly for the O3 air unit, but those are all kind of on that single bracket that unfortunately broke on mine, and those are just kind of separated from the drone entirely. I like it when companies make the O3 dampened because I have noticed micro vibrations when it isn't. Not only that, but you have easy access to the O3 air unit's USB port and SD card slot. I wish I still had it, but on the front here, there was a little plastic cover, and initially I was looking at the drone and I was kind of bummed that you wouldn't be able to mount a GoPro to it, but I was completely wrong. They include a mount right here, and this is for a naked GoPro. So what you would do is the little plastic cover that's on here, you just push that back and the whole thing comes off, and then you take a mount like this, and this just clips right on. So I could, I guess, still use this since we have these two holes right here, but there were two more holes back here, and it would ultimately just screw into that, and then you have a nice firm mount for a GoPro. But they include this in the box, and in addition to that GoPro mount, they do give you this little mount right here, and this is for a GPS. Sub250 does sell their own M10 GPS that fits in this perfectly. So even though the O3 air unit is completely dampened from the frame, this top cover isn't dampened at all. This is just hard mounted directly to the carbon fiber. So when you're putting that naked GoPro mount on the top, if you're choosing to use this with a naked GoPro, unfortunately you're not going to have any vibration dampening for that. That's just going to be hard mounted to this piece of plastic. Behind that, we have the all-in-one flight controller ESC, which is a Red Fox A3 all-in-one with 35 amp ESCs running BL Heli. So they sell this drone in a couple different configurations. I was sent the plug and play option. I ended up installing a Radiomaster ELRS 900 megahertz. I think this is the BR3 or the BR1 receiver. I'm just kind of testing this, putting it up against Crossfire, but you can get this drone as plug and play like I have here, or you can get it with ELRS 2.4 gigahertz or with a TBS Crossfire receiver on board. In the back of the drone, I'll move this. This is the little hinge that I was showing you guys originally that would have had the O3 antenna kind of mounted in it like that. So when you get the drone, it's like that, fold it out like that when you're flying. We have a hard-mounted XT30 and a hard-mounted USB-C port right here. Both are features that I really like in a drone. I've been seeing more and more Cinewhoops come with the external USB and a fixed XT30 or XT60. Both a fixed XT30 and a fixed external USB just make the build so much cleaner in my opinion. The motors on board are Sub250's 4500 kV 1404 motors, and then the props are HQ DT 63mm tri-blade V2 props. The drone is made mostly of carbon fiber that's about 2 millimeters thick. Surrounding the prop guards is a green TPU piece. I really like how sleek this TPU piece is. It would be cool if they had this available on their site to download to print different colors, but we'll see if they add that with the other pieces. Durability really is my only complaint with this thing. I feel like that crash wasn't that bad, and I've had drones survive much worse crashes. If I'm able to get my hands on the replacement parts, or if I can even just print some that are a bit more durable, this is going to become a drone that I keep in my Pelican case with the other 2.5-inch Cinewhoops that I use for real estate. The rates on it are perfect for that kind of work. So if this video helped you out, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more FPV content. Leave this video a like, and if you have any questions about the DollyFly25, leave a comment down below.